Mikhailo Mudryk, Chelsea Football Club, was spotted at Arsenal. I'm going to tell you why Chelsea fans don't get angry. The man was just watching the game. I'll tell you who he was with, why he was there. And it's actually a very good cause. Furthermore, Enzo Maresca decided to have a press conference before the Panathinaikos versus Chelsea game. We're going to preview that Conference League game. Can't believe I'm still saying that. And there's a lot to talk about. 3 youngsters from Cobham get called up to the squad. A lot of players get left in the UK whilst everyone else goes to Greece. I'm going to give you the names. More comments on Josh Achimpong, and Enzo Maresca was very, very explicit with the words he selected. Joao Felix update, and more importantly, Mikhailo Mudryk, why he was not in the squad for the Liverpool game. We've got a full jam-packed video today. If you like the video, hit that like button. It's the best way you can support. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Do it right now because you will forget. Let's get into it. Let's go. So for those of you bratuchi that know, I love football, right? It's not only watching Chelsea, I just watch football all the time. If there's a game on that is from teams that I recognize, 9 out of 10 times I'm watching it. Yesterday, I'm watching the Arsenal Shakhtar game on the big screen. I've got Real Madrid on my laptop, 2 games at one time. I'm enjoying it. And before the game kicks off, I'm seeing, what's Mudryk doing at the Emirates, right? So straight away, I was like, this is going to be popping off everywhere. So I refreshed my Twitter. Oh my God, what's Mudryk doing there? Is Arsenal trying to buy him? No. Mudryk joined Chelsea from Shakhtar Donetsk. Shakhtar Donetsk came to Arsenal to play in a Champions League game. And the Chelsea Football Club player, Mikhailo Mudryk, was at the Emirates Stadium because he was in the box with the president of Shakhtar, all the other members from the traveling party. I'm guessing he knows from a very young age because he played for that club. He most probably knows some of the players. So he was sitting with them. He was there. There is nothing to worry about, Mudryk fans. Arsenal will not be paying us 60 million to take him off our hands. I think a lot of Chelsea fans, actually that's a good question. If a club bids 60 million, 50, let's make it realistic, 50 million tomorrow to take Mudryk off our hands, would you take it? And even if it's Arsenal, or would there be an Arsenal tax to 60 million? Personally, it was very interesting to see him in there. He was very happy, he looked smiley, but the president of Shakhtar, or I think the sporting director, spoke out and he said something to Goal that made me laugh. He said, Chelsea bought a Ferrari without knowing how to drive it. They could have bought a normal car. So this is what I think of Mudryk's time at Chelsea. First of all, Mudryk is no Ferrari, bro. If anything, he's like a Renault Clio or something like that, yeah? Let's not talk about Mudryk as a Ferrari. Yes, he's very quick, but nothing else in his game is a Ferrari. Vinicius Jr. is a Ferrari, all right? Let's be respectful here. Secondly, nobody asked you for your stupid opinion, yeah? You got your 62 million. You're gonna most probably get some of your add-ons that take it to 88 million. Not all of them, because Mudryk ain't doing the business. So please, shut up. And we don't need you teaching us, okay? Ew, they shouldn't have bought a Ferrari if they don't know how to drive it. Shut up with your dead analogy. On to the next story. Enzo Maresca decided that he's going to do his press conference, and the press conference was very interesting. First of all, we're going to give you the team news from Mr. Enzo Maresca. No Malo Gusto, no Reece James, no Levi Colwell, no Caicedo, no Nicholas Jackson. All of them are registered for the Conference League squad, but none of them have travelled to Greece. They don't get a little holiday, they get to stay in England in the cold. Furthermore, Cole Palmer, Wesley Fofana and Lavia are not in the squad, so they didn't travel, and neither did Ben Chilwell because he was not registered either, along with the other 3. So those 3 will not be playing. The others that have went coincide with Joao Felix, Mudryk, Enzo Fernandez travelled, which is very telling actually at his current standpoint where he lies in the squad. However, 3 youngsters have went. And Enzo Maresca spoke about this. It was actually really nice to hear him. He said the first one is Sam. Sam is a centre midfielder, 18-year-old, that can play in the pockets. And he said he also is very physical, very good midfielder, highly technically. He's been training with us and he's going to play, of course. Secondly, it's Shim. Shim, for those of you that don't know, has been smashing goals. I think he's just turned 17 3 days ago. And since then, right, he has been playing at under 19, under 21 level, like absolutely for a long period of time and scoring goals for fun. Enzo Maresca said he can play on the wing and he can also play in that number 9 role. He's very, very versatile. He's played for the England at different development stages. This kid is meant to be absolutely sick. Personally, I haven't seen him play, so I'm really excited to see if he gets any minutes. He's also went on to speak about Tyreek George, and he was very complimentary of Tyreek and put him in the same bracket of talent as Josh Achimpong. So from my understanding, Josh and Tyreek are the selected ones that are the best. After that, it's the other players. And what's really evident is everyone's saying, oh, there's a blocked pathway. They're blocked pathway for all these Cobham graduates because players like David Washington are being bought. Cesar Cassidy. Well, David Washington is stuck with the under-21. He's not getting considered and he's not getting a look in. What does that tell you? There is no blocking of the pathway. If you're good enough, you will come through. And I think this is so important to consider at Chelsea these days. What was very interesting and the best part of the press conference for Chelsea versus Panathinaikos from Enzo Maresca was that question regarding Josh Achimpong. So for those of you that don't know, at the end of the video, there will be a link where you can go and I'll fill you in on the whole saga, how it broke, why Josh Achimpong will be leaving Chelsea potentially, unless something gets agreed. But Enzo Maresca now has added his own version. And he said, look, I spoke to him 3 weeks ago. I told him how important he is. We left the conversation on a very good turn. He agreed with me, I agreed with him. We spoke in good detail 3 weeks ago. Furthermore, I think he's a big talent. It's a big shame that he can't be with us at this moment in time. But there's a contract dispute. He also went on and made a little dig. And if you had to listen to it, he said, I don't know who's giving him advice, but it's a big shame. What this tells me is there is a clear different perspective from both entities. And what has happened in the last few days is we're seeing links to Liverpool. And with Liverpool, what is this telling us? It's telling us Connor Bradley is going to be the number 1 next year and Josh might be number 2 at right back because Trent Alexander-Arnold is going to Real Madrid. It's the worst kept secret, right? We all know it. You know it. I know it. Trent knows it, Liverpool fans know it, anyone that's denying it is deluded or absolutely in the know. Because we can all see what's happening in front of our eyes. He's in clubs with Bellingham and Mbappe. He is absolutely basically refusing to sign a new deal. There's reports in Spain coming out. This is going to happen. So I would understand if Josh goes. I saw segments online, saw Eunice basically say, oh, it's very interesting. This is the first time that we've seen a difference between the coach and the manager. A manager would be able to decide and say, he's playing. And the coach wouldn't. Carlo Ancelotti back in the day, I think when he was our manager, I remember this very explicitly. He was told he's not allowed to play Fabio Borini. And the reason he wasn't allowed to play for Fabio Borini after a certain period of time was because he had a certain amount of time left on his contract. He was refusing to sign. Chelsea basically said, we're not going to give you the exposure. Whilst I agree, as a manager, most probably you should have the option. I also think Enzo Maresca knew the job he took. He took a job as a head coach. When you're a head coach, your coach was given to you. You might lose Cole Palmer tomorrow. You might lose Enzo Fernandez tomorrow. You need to get on with the job. And more importantly, I will say this, and please people, don't get annoyed. Josh Achimpong is not worth dying on the hill by burning the bridges with the board. Enzo Maresca needs to pick his battle wisely, right? If Cole Palmer was not allowed to play because of contract dispute, I'd understand the whole hoopla. But it's Josh Achimpong. He's literally the 3rd choice right back. Do you want to tear your relationship with your directors over a player that is your 3rd choice right back? No. And I also think there's a certain skill that an individual should have. If you accept a certain job, once you're in that job, it's not your responsibility to try change the criteria that you took the job on. You took the job under certain assumptions and certain responsibilities. He took it under the responsibility that any player you give me, I'm going to work with. I give you an input on what I would do, and which he openly said he's a very good player. However, I will not tell you who we can and can't play or sell. Because that's, at the end of the day, not his job. What was very evident was Enzo Maresca is really trying to keep the harmony in the squad really well. Because what he's saying regarding Joao Felix and Mikhailo Mudryk is very interesting. So the question was asked, why did Mudryk not play against Liverpool? He said it was a tactical decision. I didn't think he was the right decision to make at the time. Fair enough. Look, we've got a highly competitive squad. As long as the squad is 18 that will have to play, this is going to happen. 18, so 11 play, 7 on the bench. This is going to happen. Players are going to miss the bench, and sadly, it is what it is. It's going to happen. Then he also said, look, Mudryk's training really well every day. He's showing me his abilities. I believe in the player. However, we are just very competitive and we've got a great team that's doing really well at the time. And he's just like João. He went on to speak about João and said João has been doing fantastic since he's come in. He's really impressed with João. João will get his chances in the future, but he's competing with certain players. And at the end of the day, we need to be open and transparent. He's competing with Cole Palmer for that role. It's going to be very difficult to play instead of Cole Palmer. Hence, it's very difficult to see a way of João playing unless he gets in at that left wing spot instead of Jadon Sancho, which could be very interesting. I would love to see it. I just think he's very different to Sancho because Sancho retains the ball better than João. He gives it away more, but João has more of a goal threat. So it really depends on what we want. I think the key difference here is as well, Jadon Sancho works a lot harder off the ball than João Felix does. And that is the deteriorating factor to why, in my opinion, he won't play on that left wing. For me, it's very interesting to see what happens with João Felix, because is he going to be happy with another year of sitting on a bench? Is he going to try to get a move next year? What's going to happen? Very interesting times. But both players, look, the way you get into this team is slapping Panathinaikos tomorrow, making a claim, and then Enzo Maresca can't ignore you. Because if the players don't play well against Newcastle and you do well again next week against Newcastle midweek, you will stake a claim. Nkunku's doing it. João has been doing it in some games. Mudryk has been doing it in some games. You just need to be consistently good and Chelsea need to consistently win. There was one question in that press conference that I believe kind of triggered him and he didn't like it. And Enzo Maresca usually, when he doesn't like something, calls it out very quickly. And they asked him, well, you've been conceding a lot of goals. Your defense hasn't been very solid. And he was very defensive. He said, we haven't been conceding a lot of goals. We've been conceding as many as other people. So I don't understand what you mean. And I get that because if you actually look at the numbers, I think we're in the top 6 for the best defense in the Premier League. Yes, we're not as good as Liverpool, who have conceded 2 or 3 goals all year. But we're not far off Arsenal's goal record. I think Arsenal have conceded 8, we've conceded 10. Manchester City, I think, have conceded 9, and this is off the top of my head. Villa have conceded a few as well. Look, at the end of the day, it's too early in the season for us to make our assumptions over what's been good and what's been bad. It's 8 games in, we've conceded 10 goals. Last year, we conceded 64 goals in 38 games. That's not good, bruv. On any planet is that not good. Yes, we have a Sanchez issue. I've said this before. People said I have an agenda. I don't have an agenda. Someone said to me in the comments, I read those comments, by the way. So when you lot type, trust me, you're not going, unnoticed, right? I replied to some comments, but you guys absolutely flood the comment section. If I spend the whole day, I'll be replying the whole day, man. I'm really appreciative of what you guys said. But someone said to me, Sanchez, you need to give Sanchez the whole year and then judge him. Why? Why do I need to give him a whole year? On what planet does Sanchez deserve a whole year when I already know who the goalkeeper is? I know the player from Brighton. I know the player from Chelsea. And I know him already for the 8 games this year. He's the same player. He makes an amazing save, follows it up with misplacing passes. Someone said, oh, Edison and Alisson always misplay passes. No, they don't. Not at this rate. And they also make better saves than him on a consistent basis. They don't make the stupid fundamental errors he makes. The goal against Brighton, you see Edison or Alisson make that once a year. With Sanchez, that happens once every 3 months. They're passing the ball to the opposition. How many times has he done it and we went unpunished? It can't happen. I'm sorry. At this top level, we will be punished. Jurgensen's back in goal. Enzo Maresca has confirmed it. Look, guys, I'm not getting at you when I tell you, I don't agree with you and I call you out on your comments. I'm calling you out because this is what football fans do, right? This is a community. I'm going to read your comment and I'm going to react to it. You don't agree with me? Comment back below. And it's one of those things. If you leave a super thanks, one of those super chat comments, you will definitely get a response back because I'd be very appreciative and I actually feel very guilty when people do that. But you definitely get responses from that. However, normal comments as well, 9 out of 10 times I do respond when I can, but it is what it is. Personally, don't get offended when I disagree with you. Same way I don't get offended when you disagree with me. I'm just a very emotive person, and the way I respond, people sometimes go, oh, you're getting emotional. It's not emotional, it's just I'm passionate about what I'm talking about. I'm passionate about this team, and there's a reason you lot come here and watch this channel, because you like the way I deliver stuff, you like the way that it's always passionate and concise. But it is what it is. Hit the like button. Tomorrow's game is massive, because we just need to keep winning. If we lose, the negativity will be massive. If we drop points, the negativity will be massive. So the best way to get rid of negativity is by doing our job. We go to Greece, big stadium. This is the toughest game that we're going to have in a conference league in the whole group stages. Get the job done, be professionals. All these players have something to prove. Let's see some of the youngsters play and let's make Chelsea proud, because the reality is we need to win the Conference League. Peace out. I'm out. Have a lovely day. Go check out this Josh Achimpong video. It's very good. I promise you. Bye.